Dallas Turner at 8 to the Falcons. I think you can, maybe pen that one in because they don't need a quarterback, and they could use Dallas Turner sitting there at 8. And then Brock Bowers to the Jets at 10. I mean, the Jets have ticked a lot of boxes in free agency to allow them to take Bowers at 10. We're all sharping in Rome Odunze for the Bears. If they walk out with Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze in the first 10 picks, that would be a home run. But Bowers at 10 to the Jets, that does make sense, right? I mean, Bowers' skill set for them would work, right, Matt?
Absolutely. I mean, he almost becomes their de facto slot receiver in this situation because you had Mike Williams to the outside. Obviously, they have a great young player in Garrett Wilson. They shored up both tackle spots with Morgan Moses and with Tyron Smith. So the Jets have put themselves in a best player available mentality at 10 overall. They could always backstop one of the tackle spots, knowing the injury history of Tyron Smith, the age of Morgan Moses. They're both 33 years old. But I do think it feels like they're pushing every chip to the middle, whether it be Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh feeling like they have to win this year, 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, the core additions they've made offensively are all guys in their 30s. It feels like they're going all in. And Brock Bowers, of the players who would be available at 10, is the one most ready to contribute right away. We saw Sam Laporta have a huge impact last year at tight end for the Detroit Lions. And I think Bowers is a very similar type player who traditionally we say rookie tight ends aren't going to have a huge impact, huge production right away. I think Bowers is a difference because we've seen him play tailback at Georgia. We've seen him play slot receiver, inline tight end. He's more of an offensive weapon. So it would be fun to see how the Jets would utilize a player like that. Rodgers, traditionally, not a huge tight end thrower. That hasn't been a part of his game. But go back and look at how much he used guys like Randall Cobb on underneath option routes. And Bowers is going to fit into that role really well.
In the few minutes I have left with you, Matt, some quick hitters. In your second 10, this is where a ton of really talented linemen go. Fashanu to the Patriots would be terrific for them to cash in. One of the picks that you think they'd get from the Vikings. You got Fuaga going to the Saints. Fatanu going to Seattle would help build things up, obviously, on that line there, even a little bit more. But Bo Nix to the Raiders is where I want to land here. Where do you stand on Nix versus Penix Jr. on that front?
Yeah, it all goes down to medicals. And right now where we're at, we don't have all the information on Michael Penix with the 4 straight years of season-ending injuries at Indiana. He's healthy the last 2 years at Washington. He had a fantastic pro day earlier this week. So I think right now I'm a little higher on Nix. The experience, 61 starts, the most ever in college, is certainly helpful. His ability to go from struggling at Auburn to battling that adversity and becoming a great player at Oregon. I think his underneath accuracy and timing are exactly, where the NFL's at right now. He doesn't have the hugest arm, but he has good mobility. So I think, being drafted in the top 15 is a little bit of an overdraft for Bo Nix, but everything I continue to hear is, he's robotic with his memory. He's a great leader. He executes the offense well. He's very accurate. And those guys do tend to get drafted a little bit earlier, especially when there are so many teams, like a Denver or like the Raiders who are desperate for a quarterback right now. Even the Raiders after signing Gardner Minshew, who I will always love as a quarterback, I think there's still an area there where they have to be looking at the future and say, we need to strike and go get our guy.
And then your final third here of the first round. So many fascinating choices here. You've got J.C. Latham to the Dolphins, who, as we all know, lost Robert Hunt. They need to start building up that line. You've got the Eagles taking a Clemson Tiger, not a Georgia Bulldog, so I'll have to push back there. Amarius Mims with Tyron Smith now with the Jets. That's a pretty big dude that you want to put on the line there. Laiatu Latu seems to be like a perfect Tampa Bay Buccaneer. So you got Vea and Latu on the same line there. Adonai Mitchell going to the Bills would be pretty sweet. Ladd McConkey adding his quick game to the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And you do think the Chiefs go ahead and get the fastest guy in the history of the Combine. That's what you think, huh?
You got to do it. You got to do it. And even after signing Hollywood Brown to that 1-year deal, I talked to someone in Kansas City, and they said, we have ultimate flexibility now. We can go any area we want in the first round. We don't have to take a wide receiver. We don't have to take an offensive lineman. But it's just too special to have the speed of Xavier Worthy stretching the field with Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce underneath. Maybe it's just fun to think about. Maybe that's more of a Madden football move. Yes. But it also kind of feels like Brent Veach a little bit. To have 4.21 speed and Patrick Mahomes throwing the deep ball would get us back to some pre-2022 type Kansas City Chiefs football.
And the new kickoff rule with that kid, right? Like, why not?
Right. Yeah. Right. I mean, he's the best return man in the draft.
Right.
You got to have two punt returns. So
you got to have two.
Yeah.
Right. You got to have two back. Why not Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy? Go ahead. Press your luck. Well,
and they've got the rugby star now too.
That's right. They signed him today. Oh my goodness
Reese
gracious.
Lightning. So.
That is a great nickname. I love that. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.